Hey! Okay, so unlike the last one, this one is actually serious. My last tier list, I kind of just threw together. This one, I actually kind of like thought out. So this is gonna be an actual tier list of the games this time. But all the games are all duplicated down here. So after like this Torna on, it's all duplicates. So it's Torna, Xenoblade 2, Xenoblade 1, X, Xenogears, Xenosaga 1, 2, and 3. And okay, I thought Xenoblade 3 was on here, but apparently it's not. But yeah, so tier list. I'm gonna go in order of the games down here first. So Torna, I mean, that's easy. That's an easy S. That shouldn't really be a surprise to anyone that watches me. Y'all already know Xenoblade 2 is my favorite game of all time, so obviously that's also an S. But I actually would like Torna more than base game if it was just a little bit longer. Like I love Torna. It gives us backstory on Jin, who is my favorite character in the entire series. And backstory is like the biggest reason why I like certain characters. Like the biggest reason for a character to grow on me is backstory. I think backstory is the #1 most important thing for a character for me to like them. Not like them, because I like a lot of characters and some don't have backstories, but like get invested into them. Backstory and lore really helps. And then we got a little bit of backstory on Mythra, and then Mythra was playable. So playable Mythra, that in and of itself is a reason to like Torna. But yeah, Torna was such an incredible game. The music, Oresco is my favorite, song in the game. And Torna battle theme. Torna battle theme is just insane. There's no way, nothing will ever top that. I might do a tier list on like all the Xeno battle themes. Ooh, that'd be so good. But speaking of Xenoblade 2, yeah, this is no surprise. Xenoblade 2 is my favorite game of all time. It was my first Xeno game, first Xenoblade game. It was my entry into Xenoblade. I've explained many times why I like Xenoblade 2 so much, or how I even got into Xenoblade. But the TLDR is a couple years ago, I think like 2 years ago, I started to become more open-minded about games. And my dad had Game Informer, so every month he'll subscribe to Game Informer. Every month we get a new Game Informer, so as soon as it came in, I'd rush to the mailbox and just read through it to see all the different games. And I think it was like a couple months, not even a couple months, this was like 2 years ago. So I saw about Xenoblade 3 or Xenoblade 2, and I saw, oh, it was coming to Switch. I was like, okay, this might be a game I'm interested in. It's on the Switch. I have a Switch. I could get this game. So I read up on about it, and everything I read in the Game Informer, it seemed interesting. So I went on YouTube, watched a couple videos on it. I think I started watching Johnny Awesome's playthrough of it. So like I was very excited for this game. And then a couple weeks later, we went down to GameStop. And I didn't really know what the hell to get. I didn't know what game to get. I was just looking around and I saw Xenoblade 2. And I was like, wait, this is that game that I was reading about. So I bought it. But then my dad got mad at me because it was $55. It was like, I mean, what do you mean? Almost every game is around 60. I don't know. Maybe GameStop have cheaper games. I don't really go there anymore. But I played all the way up until chapter 3 to the Malos and Akos fight right before you get Mythra. I hated that fight. I didn't know how to beat it. I kept dying and I was stuck on that for like a week. And then so I dropped the game for a month because I was just frustrated and couldn't get past that fight. And then I decided to pick the game back up, and I didn't want to use a guide or anything because I went the whole game up to that point without a guide, so I wanted to play the whole game without a guide. I was like, you know what? I'm never gonna get past this fight. Let me just see what I have to do. And then I figured out all you had to do was literally get Akos down to half HP. You get Mithra and the fight is so much easier. So I was beating myself up for that. But then after that, like when Mithra was awakened and all that happened, I was hooked. I just like binge played that for like the rest of the week. And I finally, or before I beat Xenoblade 2, I was on like the end game. I started watching videos about it on YouTube. That's when I found Anel's Blade guides and then Luxin. So like I spent all my time just like doing everything in the game before the final boss. I don't know why I always do that, especially in JRPGs. When I know I'm close to the end of the game, I'll like stop doing the story and basically do everything else other than beat the game because I just don't want it to end. But yeah, I did that. I grinded for Cosmos for like a week, finally got her, and then I think I beat Xenoblade 2 with like 200 hours or something because I just did everything but the story. And then after that, like Xenoblade 2, goddamn, the feeling I got from beating Xenoblade 2 for the first time is just unmatched. Nothing will ever surpass Xenoblade 2. And that's the moment I realized, damn, gotta like this game a lot. And then, you know, I learned my Xenoblade 1, X and all that. I played through DE. I actually got Xenoblade 1 on 3DS. I played up to like the Mumcar fight in Valak Mountain, and I got stuck there, so I kind of just dropped that. And then I got DE, I beat that, and then, you know, now here we are. Xenoblade is my #1 favorite franchise of all time. So hey, I love this series, especially Xenoblade 2. I can think of a better entry point than 2, maybe 3. 3 is not on this list. I don't know why, but I'll talk about that and put my placement for it after the other game. Now, Xenoblade 1, this may not be surprising, but it's a little controversial. I'm gonna put in like C or B tier. I'm gonna put it in B to be nice. Xenoblade 1 is okay. I don't dislike the game. I still do like it because it's a Xenoblade game, but it's a lot different from Xenoblade 2. And I enjoy Xenoblade 1. I beat it and everything. I still, you know, post game, grinded for New Game Plus and everything. But I feel like Xenoblade 1 is just too slow and a bit boring. Like, combat is kind of slow, and I mean, there's really nothing to do other than just wait for your arts to come off a cooldown. So, I mean, it was okay. Melia, I love Melia, obviously. Maineth, I love Maineth. I love the name Maineth. It's just such a beautiful name. But yeah, I like the game. It's just, it's hard to play sometimes. I don't really, a lot of the times I don't really have the patience to play it. It's just a little boring. There's really not much to do, and grinding is terrible. I like Xenoblade 1, but I just like other games better. Now, Xenoblade X, I'm tempted to put it in S tier, but I don't want this whole list to be S tier, so I'm gonna put it in A. Xenoblade X is the most obscure in the whole series. It feels so out of place in Xenoblade. So I mean, Xenoblade 1 wasn't really meant to be a Xeno game, so it's the least Xeno game. I guess that's why I like it the least, because it's the least Xeno, if that makes any sense. Xenoblade X is beautiful. Open world JRPG is my favorite genre of gaming ever, and that's exactly what Xenoblade X is, an open world JRPG. And I will say this till the day I die, Xenoblade X was the most ambitious and greatest open world I have ever played. There is never and never will be another open world like Xenoblade X, and it's such a shame that it's so damn slept on. Like, God, bro, please, Nintendo, if only Nintendo just ported this to the Switch, and so many more people could have the chance to experience this game. It's like, Oh, why are they just refusing? Why are they refusing? Xenoblade X is such an incredible game. I love everything about it. The quest system, Mira, the world, the combat is probably the most customizable in the game. I'd say even, or in the series, I'd say even more than Xenoblade 3. Just by the sheer amount of weapons and gears, arts and skills you can have, all the different classes, everything. There's just so much customization in X. It's insane. And the skills, that's a whole different part. It's incredible. And just the world building of Mira is just so intricately detailed and planned out. It's amazing. Xenoblade X is such a good game, and it's such a shame that not many people really know about it. Now, Xenogears I haven't played yet. It's like the one Xeno game I have not played yet. I really do want to get Xenogears, but I just can't afford it right now. I don't know how I will feel about Xenogears because it is a very old game for the PS1, and like older retro games I find hard to play because I just so used to modern JRPGs. Playing older ones is kind of hard for me. It's like I lack the patience, or I don't know, it's just hard to get into those games. So I don't really know how long it's going to take me to beat Xenogears if I do get it. So I can't really speak much on Xenogears, but it does look very fun and cool, and obviously I gotta play it because it's a Xeno game, and it's the last Xeno game I haven't played yet. So Xenosaga 1, I'm gonna put in A tier. Let me move 1 down to C. Xenosaga 1, actually, I'm gonna put in B tier. Xenosaga 1 is great. I love the game. Xenosaga 1 is incredible. Now, towards the end game, it gets a little frustrating with all the bosses and all just the bullshit. If you saw my playthrough, you'd understand. I think a large part of that is my fault, and I just needed to grind. But Xenosaga 1 is incredible. It doesn't really have like any music. It's got like 3 songs in the whole game. I mean, it's funny, but the combat is fun. I like the boost turn system and the whole like slot roulette. The characters, do I really even need to say anything? Cosmos, Shion, Momo, Albedo. I love all the characters. They're just so cool. They're all so good. I love Pellegrini. Y'all already know. Pellegrini is my wife. All right, we're actually getting married next week if you didn't know. Don't tell me, yo. But yeah, Xenosaga 1, it's a great game. It does feel slow at times, but at least if it's faster than Xenosaga 2. Xenosaga 1 is great. It's not the best in the series, but it is very, very good. Xenosaga 2. I'm kind of tempted to put it up in B with Xenosaga 1. Now, just to be, yeah, okay, I'll put it up here in B. Xenosaga 1 is better than 2. I think Xenosaga 1's way better than 2. But the story is just as important. It's a continuation of Xenosaga 1. It happens immediately after Xenosaga 1, so it's still very fresh and important. The biggest thing that I don't like is obviously the art style, how weird everyone just looks so ugly and deranged. It's so weird, except for Ziggy and Albedo. They look exactly the same as they did in Xenosaga 1. So I don't know why everyone else looks so different. And then they replaced the voice actors. It took me a while to get used to Chaos's new voice actor, and I'm still not used to it because they used that same voice actor in Xenosaga 3, and it's all so weird hearing him in Xenosaga 1 and then completely changed. It's like, it's not it. It is not it. And then Shion looks, yeah, Shion looks how she looks. Cosmos, her ass is made of water, so that's nice, I guess. But the combat is actually not as bad as people think it is. It's not, I'm not saying it's very good, but The combat is very slow. It is a lot slower than Xenoblade, or I keep saying Xenoblade, Xenosaga 1. To me at least. I don't know, it may be faster for others, but to me it feels a lot slower because you kind of gotta just stock up turns and then just finish off an enemy with one big combo. And it's kind of hard for me to remember the different combos, like the A, B, C combos. Yeah, but the combat in the game itself in general is just not as bad as people say it is. Really not. Now, last game, I don't know why Xenoblade 3 is not on here, but the last game, Xenosaga 3. I'm gonna put it in A for now because I haven't even finished the game yet. So yeah, this may be cheating or may not count because I beat the game, but what the hell ever. It's my tier list, I'll make it how I want to make it. And Xenosaga is a phenomenal game. It is so fucking good. The story is incredible. The new art style, it's a lot faster. Combat is so fun. It has more songs. Just, everything about Xenosaga 3 is just great. It's incredible. I don't think there's a single bad thing I can say about it. It has so many quality of life improvements over Xenosaga 1 and 2. Especially Xenosaga 2. They took a lot of stuff out of Xenosaga 2, which didn't really make any sense. But Xenosaga 3 brought everything back and made everything so much better, so much faster and snappier, so many quality of life improvements. It's like the Xenoblade 3 of Xenosaga, but is it better? Is Xenosaga 3 better than Xenoblade 3? I don't know. I have to think about that. But actually, you know, Xenosaga 3, I haven't beat it yet, so I can't really put it in S. I want to put it in A for now, but when I beat it, I'm probably going to bump it up to S. And Xenosaga 3 is just... Xenosaga 3 is just that incredible. Oh wait, I'm so dumb. Xenoblade 3 is way over here. Okay, I thought it wasn't in the list because I saw on the list earlier, but then I'm looking here now, I didn't see it, but it's right here. So Xenosaga 3, god damn, I just want to play that shit now because it's so good. Xenosaga 3 is so good. If you haven't played it, please play it. Obviously play the other two first in order to understand what's happening and get like the full emotional impact or like the full experience of Xenosaga 3. There's a reason Anel talks about it so highly. There's a reason other people talk about it so highly. There's a reason why people love it so much, and you just have to play it to see why. The music, the characters, the gameplay, the combat, everything. God, Xenosaga 3 is so good. And the way I'm talking about it, it makes it seem like it's my favorite of all the games. But you know, Xenoblade 2, you see where it's at. Now, Xenoblade 3, it's hard because I want to put it in S because I love it. I love Xenoblade 3. But I also want to put it in A because after beating it, it's not that I didn't like it as much as I wanted to. Before the game came out, I was like really forcing myself to love this game and make it like my #1 favorite and like it more than Xenoblade 2. But that just simply didn't happen. After beating Xenoblade 3, I kind of realized how much I love Xenoblade 2 even more. So it's like not even fair. I'll put it in S because it's still a phenomenal game. I still think Xenoblade 3 is the best game in the entire Xeno series. Best combat, best gameplay, everything. Saying that, you know, I think Xenoblade 3 is the best, I still like Xenoblade 2 more. Even if it's worse, you know, according to these standards, even if it's worse than Xenoblade 3. I don't think it's worse, I just think Xenoblade 3 is a better game, if that makes any sense. So, Xenoblade 2 isn't worse because of anything it did. It's just Xenoblade 3 did everything better. It fused the combat of Xenoblade 1 and 2. It's the most customizable out of 1, 2, and 3. X, I still think, has a more customizable combat system than Xenoblade 3. But Xenoblade 3 is a phenomenal game. Oh, I was here. I was here since announcement. I was here since the rumors, like, oh, there's a new Xenoblade game, and then it got announced in the February Direct, and I just been following it, making videos on it ever since release. And then I got the playthrough. That game's incredible. I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would or wanted to, because I kind of forced myself to like play through the game and kind of, you know, rush through it, because, you know, I was doing a playthrough for it on the channel where I uploaded like 2 episodes of the playthrough a day. So I kind of really couldn't take my time and explore like I wanted to. I kind of had to just force myself through the story, which I regret, but hey, I did this to myself. I decided to become a content creator, so I can't really be complaining or blame anyone but myself for doing that. So I would have probably loved Xenoblade 3 a lot more if I didn't do a playthrough of it. It might even be my favorite game, who knows. But yeah, that's the Xenogames tier list. This looks very weird. I got Xenoblade 2 up in S with Xenoblade 1 down in C. Alright, please don't take this as I hate Xenoblade 1 or anything, because I know how some people can be in this community. I don't dislike Xenoblade 1. I like Xenoblade 1 a lot, and I loved FC. I just like it the least out of the other games. Okay, actually, Xenosaga 2 I might put down in C, and then put Xenoblade 1 up in B. I don't know. I really do like Xenosaga a lot, but I don't like it more than Xenoblade. Okay, see, I could just do this to be like, I can't decide whether or not it goes in B or C. I really don't know. You know, I'm gonna keep it in C, because actually, you know what? That's the list. That's the list. So we got in S, we got Xenoblade 2, Torna, and 3. No surprise. A, we have X in 3. B, we have Xenosaga 1, Xenoblade 1, and then C, Xenosaga 2, and I haven't played Xenogears yet, so I can't really speak on that. However, I do like Miyoung in Esmeralda a lot. Yes, I know I like Miyoung. She's a terrible person, but I like the purple hair. All right, I like her character design. From what I've seen, she's just a really cool character. So, but yeah, that's my Xenogames tier list. I'm trying to think if there's any more I can say about any of them that I haven't already. But yeah, that's it. That's really about it. So I'm curious to see what y'all are gonna say, because I know this is gonna be very controversial, because Xenoblade 1 is so low. But you know, I don't really care. All right, I really don't care. But yeah, that's really about it. So, as always, thanks for watching. Have a damn good day. Stay safe. Be well. And play some goddamn Xenoblade.